Why do most foreigners leave their country, travel by themselves to come to China? Because of the culture? Maybe not. That's a benefit. But let's be honest. People come here to earn some money. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the world of working in China as a foreigner, especially as an ESL teacher. But we'll also touch on other jobs that foreigners tend to do here. Plus, I'll break down how much ESL teachers earn in different cities and what the cost of living looks like in big cities versus smaller ones. So whether you're considering coming to China for a job or just curious, stick around for all the details. If you're new here, ni hao, I'm Lizzie and welcome to the channel about life in China. Chinese New Year is coming the end of January and we're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers, so I'd appreciate it so much if you quickly go and subscribe. Thank you. Okay, let's get into it. Popular jobs for foreigners in China. Alright, so what kind of jobs are common for foreigners in China? ESL teaching, which is English as a second language, is probably the most well-known, especially in public schools, training centers, and even universities. Other popular roles for foreigners include maybe like jobs in international business, digital marketing, translation, IT, and content creation. I'll mostly focus on ESL teaching since it's one of the largest sectors. Okay, so ESL teaching, the pay in big cities versus in small cities. So let's talk money. How much can you expect to make as an ESL teacher here in China? And does it differ between big cities like Shanghai or Beijing versus smaller cities like Kunming or Guilin?
Hey everyone! In today's world, keeping your info safe online is so important. That's why I'm excited to introduce TurboX VPN. With TurboX, you get secure, private browsing and can access content from around the world. If you want to know more about China, such as Youku or Bilibili or other Chinese websites, use TurboX to connect to nodes such as Shanghai or Beijing to speed up access. Check out the link in my description and start browsing safely today.
Let's look at the pay scale comparison. Big cities like Beijing, Shanghai, or Guangzhou. If you're not sure, by the way, what is considered a big city in China, look here. In larger cities, salaries for ESL teachers tend to range from 18,000 RMB to 30,000 per month, depending on your experience and where you work. Public schools and universities pay on the lower end, while private language centers and international schools often pay more. So what about the smaller cities like Kunming or Guilin? In smaller cities, salaries are usually lower, typically ranging between 10,000 and 18,000 RMB. However, since the cost of living is also lower, teachers often find they can still save a decent amount here. Now, I live in Kunming, so I can give examples about it. I know one teacher that makes 10,000 RMB per month, but he is at a university and he only works 2 full days. Then I know people who make 25,000 RMB here in Kunming at private language centers and international kindergartens. But of course they work 5 full days a week. One thing to note is that private training centers usually pay higher, than public schools, but they may also have more demanding schedules. Now, some private schools will even offer bonuses or extra housing allowances to attract teachers, especially in cities that are a bit off the beaten path. Okay, next, let's look at the cost of living. This is a huge factor if you want to make the most of your salary here in China. So let's look at the big cities. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Shanghai or Beijing can range from 5,000 to 10,000 RMB per month. Food and transportation costs are also higher, with monthly living expenses averaging around 4,000 RMB, of course depending on your lifestyle. The subway is cheaper, obviously, 2 RMB to 10 RMB for a ride, or a Didi can be expensive, like 40 to even 200 RMB. Because in the big cities, it takes so long to get from one side to the next, or if you live in the center of a big city, remember that it's going to cost you your left arm. That's why most foreigners probably live a little bit outside of the center and they rather travel every day to and from work to save up. Now, let's look at the smaller cities. Rent in smaller cities is much cheaper, typically between 1,500 RMB and 3,000 RMB for a similar apartment. Monthly expenses, including your food and transportation, might average around 2,000 to 3,000 RMB, which means you could actually save up quite a lot of money, even on a lower salary. Again, like here in Kunming, 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, a kitchen, a big living room, 2,000 RMB rent per month. Again, the centers are always the most expensive. So if you're more budget conscious or just looking to save, you might find that a smaller city offers a lot more advantages. E-bike to school, missing the traffic, great to meet friends for lunch, and they're just a 20-minute or even 10-minute drive away. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I'm very biased when it comes to Kunming because Kunming is just the best city ever. But yes, this is like exercise stuff and you would think it's weird, but people really use it, especially the older people, to get them moving. And I want you to look at my view. Look at how beautiful these flowers are everywhere along this path. Can exercise. It is a beautiful day. I mean, don't complain. There's nothing to complain about life in China. Like I said, you come here for the money, but once you actually live in this country, you will never leave. The culture, the safety, the beauty, the convenience, the affordability, everything about China just makes you fall in love day after day. Next, let's look at the common benefits for ESL teachers here in China. Now, most of my friends, I'd say maybe 70%, they came to China because China offers them enough money and they have a lot of student debt or mortgages to pay off back in their own country. So for them, it's very convenient to come here and then live very comfortably each month while saving a little bit and then also paying off their debts. Now, the other 30% of my friends, they come here to save money, to retire earlier or buy something fancy, or they just come here to make money to travel every single month. I'm telling you guys, after this video, I'm probably gonna have a 6-pack. But yeah, like another great thing for the foreigners here is really the packages that the schools offer. So many schools will offer you additional perks, including housing allowances, even flight reimbursements, and they pay for your health insurance. Some even provide free Mandarin lessons, which is a bonus if you're interested in learning the language and speaking to the locals. They even give you a contract completion bonus. Those are amazing. Even contract renewal bonuses to make sure that you stay with the school. But I want you guys to keep in mind that benefits vary from school and city. So it's worth asking for details when you're considering a position. So a big one back in 2019 when I came over, they actually borrowed me money. They deducted it from my salary for the first 3 months. These things you need to ask if they are available. Of course, they will only give you the money once you are in China. So I had to pay my own flight ticket, but this money that they loaned helped me to find my first apartment to get on my feet. They will keep your passport for 3 months until the money is paid back. So you're safe and they're safe. Next, let's talk about the tips for job seekers.
Before you even think about applying for a job in China, you need 3 things: a degree, a non-criminal record from your country, and any type of teaching English as a foreign language certificate, TEFL, TESOL.
If you're thinking about taking the plunge and moving to China for work, here are a few tips. Research the city. Every city in China has its own vibe, lifestyle, and cost of living. Think about what kind of lifestyle do you want. Understand your contract. Make sure you fully understand the terms of your contract, including the benefits, working hours, and any potential penalties for breaking the contract early. Network. Join online groups, social media groups for expats in China. It's a great way to get advice and maybe even find job leads. Download WeChat. Before anything, download WeChat. Ask on Facebook for anyone to get you into a group and find the info from there. Okay, all right, that's it for today's video on working in China as an ESL teacher and what to expect with salaries and living costs in big and small cities. I hope this was a helpful video, especially if you're considering making the move. If you have any questions or if you're already teaching here and want to share your experiences, drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!